Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery. And when I don't know how to begin, I usually just start. And this is going to be my palette. And I don't know why I'm using black, but I'm going to do the background for a 14-inch round canvas and do a celestial theme, but I want a sky background first. So I'm going to put a bunch of colors that I like on this plate to dip my balloon into. Hopefully, this is Acai Berry. This is either a new Prizm pour or Vivid Intense. This is Black Iris. And I'm pretty sure, if nothing else, I can scrape them up with my OXO Omelette Turning Flip and Fold spatula. This is Midnight Shadow. This is Deep Amethyst. And those are, the colors will be listed under the video with descriptions like Prizm Pour, Primary Element. This is Prussian Violet. I believe that this is, I'm not sure if it's a Primary Element. I think it is Primary Element. That's an intense color. This is Indigo Violet. Let's see how similar they are. They're quite similar. This is much lighter. Maybe not as similar as I thought. This is Blue Velvet. I've got some True Silver. And I'm going to use Frosted, or Frostbites rather. Frosted, completely different color. Frostbite, very pale blue. And I've got other things standing by if I want, like the Periwinkle. Maybe I'm going to just put some in there. Periwinkle is a Vivid Intense. Must be what I left that space for. Alright, time to stop procrastinating. I'm going to start with my balloon, even though I don't necessarily believe that that's the way I'm going to continue, because if it works, we will continue that way. So, I'm going for the Periwinkle and the Black Iris. I really don't want any canvas to show. I'm happy if colors decide to mix. I think maybe if I'm quick enough, I'll get the effect I'm after without having too much glob. I like that idea of showing the nebulas or the contents of universes. I'm pretty sure I can't go back over anything too many times or even twice necessarily. So I'm just going to try and keep putting a quantity of color on the canvas. And if I only did half of this, it would be okay, because the other half is pretty much going to be a moon, I'm thinking, anyway. As long as I've got some light color and some dark color, it's going to be interesting. That silver is interesting. And I'm just picking colors at random, basically. And I twist my balloon a little bit. And if I don't like the way it looks, I'll take my spatula to it. And if I stop talking and fast forward through the rest of it, you'll understand what happened. Kind of want to try that anyway. Not many people do balloon rolls first and a spatula application after. It might ruin it though. I kind of like the way it's looking. I'd also like to take my balloon right now, because it will fill in some of those pleats around the outside edge of a round canvas. It's not so much Starry Night as Solar System, and it will get stars, I believe, maybe only in places. You can always go back and fill in with a finger. I might be wasting paint. Oh, I definitely wasted that. That dripped right down on my silicone mat. Which incidentally, every once in a while when it gets to be enough paint on my silicone mat, I add one and then another, let it dry, a layer of Floetrol. I'm just going to keep going the way I'm going. Finish that one side so I don't have to think about it again. I have the colors out. The balloon does work very well, filling in those little pleats. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Be a good way to do an ocean too, I think. So basically at this point I'm just going to use up the rest of my colors in any places that I see canvas. Like I said, it could be an ocean pretty easily. I think I might as well smooth it over on one side. I like the idea of a layer of paint on top of, I already primed this with Artist Loft and let it dry. And it was a little slack, by the way. It showed the outline of the frame underneath the canvas, but as soon as I put the paint on, it tightened it right up. Alright, so I pulled out a little cream pitcher and put some water in it so I could make sure that my balloon didn't dry. But I am going to try and wipe it off before I do that. Then I'm going to try my spatula. Might as well, right? We're not going to waste any paint. I think I guessed how much paint to use pretty closely. But I'm going to put my residual pan of color in the bucket so it doesn't have a chance to dry. And then if I have some extra, this is the time when we're going to figure out how I would like my sky to be. If I want it like this, or if I want it like this. And I kind of like it both ways. I could definitely do it both ways. But I think I want the side that I'm going to put my moon on to be flat, flush, without any texture from the balloon. So I'm just going to pretend to put my moon in there right now. Because I can. It would be funny if I did it well enough so I wouldn't have to actually put a moon in. That would be unexpected. Let's make sure I'm all covered. The paint is beginning to set up because I've got a fan blowing in the room to dry some canvases that I've primed. But I don't have any canvas showing except for a place or two. And I don't think using the tip of the spatula is going to hurt anything. I really want to drag the spatula through the rest of this. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. It's definitely got texture to it. I wonder if I should stick a balloon in the little gaps, or my finger, or what. I'm just going to press the spatula down and be happy I didn't put a white background in. I don't know if it's imperative that you complete a stroke, but usually I try and stroke right off the canvas, because if I don't, I have a hard line I don't want. I don't know that that's my favorite profile for a moon. So I better stop fussing because it is getting sticky. And I don't think, although the moon has texture, so it really doesn't matter if I leave some texture on there. I just don't think I can get away with sticking my finger in anything. Part of me wants to chain pull. Being the first time, it just makes me want to do everything. Alright, I'm not sure if my moon's going to be silver or gold, but it's not going to happen right now, so I will see you guys in a minute when this is dry. So this is a couple hours later, and because the paint wasn't poured on, it's dry. And I've got some Chantilly lace, and I have a chalk outline of a moon face, which I figure I've got nothing to lose by trying to give myself an outline. So that's what I'm going to have to do for right now. And I'm not entirely sure what I should do with it, other than leave it alone and let it dry and come back later and fill it in. Kind of want to run my finger down it, but I don't think that's really going to be very much help. I really want to test the water. Smooth the line out. I'm going to put paint in the space that's left, so I don't really think that matters much. I don't do a lot of finger painting, so I'm not overly confident, but assuming is that I'm going to cover it up, I think it'll be okay. As long as I don't leave any chunks. Well, it doesn't really matter what I do. Even if I left fingerprints in the background, they'd still look like craters in the moon. Although I've got some fingernails that are getting in the way. I might want to put a white, an eye white in there. I can probably steal some. going to very carefully. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the blue background. Finger painting is fun. I'll just let the lips stand. It's got kind of a big nose. That's okay. Yes, there is a man whistling in the background. Who is obviously somewhat unaware. I kind of want to put a little more Chantilly lace down here. I might want to put it all the way around the outside edge and then fill in after. This is my eye white. I think if I have a skewer, and I'll put a color in. It's going to need some eyelashes, obviously. If I put a little white up above, I'll have an eyelid. If I put a little below, I'll have another eyelid. Not perfect, but it's kind of cool. So far so good. I want to smooth down that edge I just left there. If somebody knows of a better tool to do this with, let me know. I kind of figure if I leave the lips and I get any raised area at all and the eye the same way, then I have sort of an area of demarcation. When I fill in, it'll leave a raised, a little bit raised. Kind of looks like I might want to use the Chantilly lace, but I want it to smooth out some. I'm not sure how I would put it in outside of a paintbrush or a balloon. The balloon is basically the next possible choice for experimentation, because of the quality of the texturization quotient there. I have very little Chantilly lace left, but I keep thinking I have maybe enough to do what I want. I like the idea of a white moon. I didn't mind the idea of a yellow moon either, though. I guess we'll see when it dries how it's going to be. does dry awfully fast. I have turned off the fan that I had on earlier. I am trying to go slow. And only leave hard edges where I think I might want to keep them. Just mucked up my nose. And that's my sign to stop now because it's getting sticky. Alright, I'll be back in a while. Okay, so I'm back and this is not dry yet, but it's not so far off. And I looked at the shiny taffeta and then I found this Pixie dust. Shiny taffeta is Prizm Pour. Pixie dust is a primary element, and I'm just going to take the top off and give it a shot. And if I don't like the way it looks, I'm going to mix it with some, put some Chantilly lace right over it. And I'm going to try and apply it with my spatula. I'm going to put a little eyebrow in. And I'm thinking about taking some of the yellow that I've still got creating some eyelids. I'm hoping I'm not blocking everything. I still want some eyelashes, but I figure why not take advantage of the fact that it's dark underneath. I might want to hit it really quickly with a torch because I can see there are some bubbles. Like that one. Moon crater. I am compelled. I got some Fandango and a little bit of deep amethyst and some peacock. No, I think it's royal sapphire. I'm still going to need a black pupil. This is just a skewer. slightly more black at the top of the iris. So I'll just use the tiniest amount of black. Which hopefully will be enough. It looks pretty good. And there's the eye for now. So I'm back, and this is obviously dry because I've got a piece of wax paper that I traced the outline on and cut out the extra because I want to put stars in the sky. I want to put them in before I do any clouds, which may or may not be a good idea. I'll show you. I should show you peek. It's you can't tell. I'll have to show you how it shimmers. It's amazing. My husband has made me very nervous, telling me not to do anything to it, which is kind of difficult since I had a lot of plans. So I've got a toothbrush and some Artist Loft white paint. I'm going to try and get off my extra without picking up any paint chips. I don't know if you can see those or not, but I got quite a few stars there now, and they should dry in short order. In the meantime, I'm planning on taking the wax paper off and doing some definition to the face, which you'll see in a minute. I'm not sure what to do with that. That's kind of a waste now, in case I want it again. So the stars are pretty vague, and hopefully I don't put my hand in them. And I will show you quickly. That's just frog tape. Hopefully you can see how that shimmers. It's pretty amazing. And I did the eye last night, as you saw, but in order to put the eyebrow in, and I forgot to mention, I just scraped through the moist paint, and the same with the eyelashes, although I may put some more eyelashes in there in a minute. And I've got to figure out what to put them in with. And I need a scrape dish, and I'm going to try a little bit of Mayan Gold, a little bit of Frosted Berry, and I've got Cupid's Crush. The colors will be listed under the video. Now I'm going to try to use my finger. And mix a color that I like. And yes, I'm going to use my finger, but I'm also going to try and use a skewer, and I'm not sure how that's going to work. I probably should have just decided at some point in time to paint this on with a brush. So I put a little tiny edge of paint on there. And fortunately it's dry, so I can wipe it off again. Use a little more of the straight Mayan Gold. See how I like that outlining the mouth. Hope I don't ruin anything. He's got me so nervous. Now lots of times there's a shadow under everybody's mouth and around their mouth. So that seems like the perfect thing to do. I'm just going to take my finger and do that. Try not to leave any little stripes from fingerprints. Alright, obviously I don't need to do much. I'm going to take that Mayan Gold on a skewer. No idea what I'm doing. Should be doing all of this with a brush. But I'm still going to continue on. Yeah, that worked at least. Little eyelid underneath the eye. I've got some Chantilly lace around here somewhere. I thought I might like to put some more color over the dark spots, but I think it adds some interest. And what I'm going to do right now is grab that Chantilly lace and I do mean very little of it because I don't have much left. Just like I would put a highlighter below my eyebrow on some makeup. Not sure I like that at all. So I'll get a Q-tip. And I've already got a natural little shadow for an indentation for a nostril, so I'm not going to do that either. But I am going to put some black in my dish. And I am going to black those eyelashes. And the lips are as they are going to be. Oh, my black's not coming out because it's got a tab on it. Probably didn't need, he was probably right. I probably didn't need to do anything. Less is more at this point, I think. I need something much smaller than this. I don't mind that. I can live with it. I might also go back in with the Q-tip. So whether or not I should add anything to the cloud portion of this, I don't know. I still want to add something to the cheek. Just going to mix everything up, and if I have to wipe it off, I have a damp paper towel. It was probably more classy before. But I still like it. And I'm happy that the paint smears in. So my choices now are to do something about the clouds that I wanted to add. Or I could just call it good. But if I add clouds, I can add some at the back and over those spots up there and close to the mouth where there's some background issues I think I see. And I've got a balloon, or I had a balloon. Yeah, I've got a couple balloons. I'd like it to be fresh. None of them are fresh. So I'm going to take my little scrape dish and I'm going to start with some Indigo Violet right on top of what I've got there. And that's a Prizm pour. And then I'm going to put some Violet Opal in there. Just to dilute it a little bit. And Periwinkle to add another shade of purple. It's not cooperating. And some Interference Violet. And I have Interference Blue as well. I actually have a red, but I don't think I'm going to use it right this second. Alright, so, do I dare? I'm going to dare. Wow, I'm very nervous. I should use this on something else. I want it to look nebulous. Nebulous cosmic clouds. I don't think I'm unhappy with that a bit. Not sure about that. Well, it goes with the rest, so I'm trying not to worry about it. I like the indigo violet far less than I anticipated. If I'm fast, maybe I can dilute it with some of that violet opal. If I get close to the face, I can always wipe some off. I'd like to make it look like there's a cloud behind the moon as well. I want to get most of that off of there, I really do. I am trying to roll my balloon. I'm going to put a little more periwinkle. On top of that blue. Where am I going to go with that? I want some midnight shadow. I can use my residuals right on the edge of the canvas and I'll add some texture. Maybe one more little cloud up here. I like the clouds in the sky. The stars aren't very impressive, but they don't have to be. I hope I didn't completely mess up that face. I might have liked it better than before. Paint's a little sticky for me to be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. I might be really tempted to find that pixie dust that I thought I left out here. I've got mother of pearl I didn't find. Maybe I'll just use some of that. Something to mute that pink down. I think I use my fingers more on this than anything I've ever done before. Alright, that's it. So if you like my experiments and you don't think I messed that up too badly, I would love to have your thumbs up. And I love you guys. I'm all distracted. Please share my videos, watch them longer. Look for the created playlists, all playlists, or ask me for a link, because I have 31 playlists with 100 videos on them, and also I have videos saved by topic and genre. I didn't ever think I could take a sticky balloon and roll it over the clouds and make more interesting texture, but that's what I'm doing. And I kind of love it. In a brazen, kind of crazy way. Because they look more like clouds with balloons stuck texture to them than they do any other way, I think. Except for that thing that I just put down. What is that? Well, fortunately, I think that's just paint that was there already. Yeah, that adds something. I didn't expect to do that. No, I shouldn't have done that. Or that. Alright, I've got a minute to tell you guys I love you and finish sponging off my moon. And I want to put some mother of pearl in the clouds, but I'll be gone in a second. And so I want to tell you my email address is easpb and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. And I'm going to try some mother of pearl anyway. Except for I've got paint glob now. That's it right there. That needs to go away. Okay, so what am I forgetting? My Linktree has my email address nearby, easpb and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. I do sell my artwork and I give lessons at the house in Spring Hill, Florida. My Amazon link is on the Linktree. If you shop there, you're going to find my 2 books, Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities, the first and the second 100 videos I made about paint pouring for YouTube. Thank you guys for the comments that keep my morale boosted. Thank you for the donations that help me buy canvases and Floetrol and GAC 800 to keep bringing you tutorials. Thank you for the donations through PayPal, I should say, and thank you for the memberships. Those of you who join, I am forever grateful to you for help keeping me at YouTube.